Our next guest is another LA native who met the Beatles before they came to America as well. In fact, he toured with them before they came here. Now, you know his post Beatlemania hits like Call Me and The More I See You, but tonight we're going to talk about his time with the Beatles in '63. He was on tour with them and Tommy Roe, and like his friend Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys, he's from just down the 405 as well, from Hawthorne, California. Please welcome Chris Montez.
Hello, everybody. I can't believe it. I'm here.
You went the right way off the front.
Does it offend you if it's all right to take the glasses off or leave them on? Okay. All right. Thank you. So it's good to have you here tonight. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. I never knew I had fans or even imagined people knew who I was. But, you know.
That would pay to see you talk and not sing.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Okay.
Oh, you want to do a number for us?
Bring out the guitar.
Yeah. Let's go back. The song we heard coming down was a big hit, and you found yourself on tour in the UK. Tell us.
Well,
what happened?
It's funny. I made a demo. This is how my career started. I made a demo I was a sophomore, and it's just to say I made a record. Okay, but I wasn't planning on being a musician or a singer or a rock singer. And one day after that, this engineer apparently, usually when you record in those days, they destroy your tape or erase it because they want to use more time on it, right? So I come on, and my mother says, somebody keeps calling. My mother never spoke English, or my father. And they said, somebody keeps calling about recording you. And I said, Mom, what are you talking about? Anyway, so she got the number right, and I called him, and it was Barry DuBois on and Billy Sherman, and they had produced Johnny Burnett, Dreamin' and all those tunes. And wow, it was amazing because I used to come home and watch the Dick Clark show and say, wow, I just enjoyed the show and watch all these people like Fabian and all these different artists, Bobby Rydell. And then next day or the next minute, I knew. They said, you're going to do the Dick Clark show. And I said, you're kidding me. Wow. I said, wow, you got to be kidding. So here I am, 4 brothers and 4 sisters. My mother had 18 children. Yeah, 9 of us survived, and I'm the only Mexican left, I guess.
I have a feeling here in Los Angeles there are a few more.
Just kidding, yeah.
So how did you end up on tour in the UK? Was Let's Dance a big hit there?
Well, it all started with making that contract in Let's Dance, and then I next thing I knew, I was doing the Dick Clark show, and I was amazed, and then I did the tour with all the black acts like Smokey Robinson and the Drifters, and I used to go on these tours with Sam Cooke. And I used to have to get out and get food for them because I never saw the label black and white only, and it made me uncomfortable because I didn't know where I stood, because I go in there and they look at me and the blacks would look at me kind of strange and say, all right, okay, so, but I did a lot of that, and then next thing I know, I finished that tour. I did a couple of major tours with Sam Cooke, and then I came home and then somebody says, you're going to go to England. I said, oh, wow, okay, I'm looking forward to England, So I land there, and all of a sudden I'm behind stage, and we're getting sound check or getting the show together. And they say, oh, by the way, these are the guys they're on the show with you and Tommy Roe, of course. And they were just regular guys, like musicians, coats and the look, and I said, hey, and next thing we know is we became good friends. In fact, I had like 6 pairs of boots made, the Beatles books, because Paul and John took me around, and coats, beautiful stitched suits, and then after that, first time I saw him, and I thought I was pretty polished, and they went on the first night, and I'm standing aside, and Paul McCartney starts singing "Lawton Sally" or "Good Golly Miss Golly," and I said, "Wow, these guys can rock," you know, because I was already said I knew I could rock, you know. I thought anyway. That's where my mentality was, and it was wonderful because watching them and watching the audience resist, you know, the way they treated us, and when I come on, you know, I never had people scream at me, and the girls chasing you and ripping your clothes, and I said, wow, you know. So
Did you want to move to England at that point?
I didn't have to. I was there all the time, you know, for 4 weeks with them, and it was amazing because sometimes we'd be up in this hotel, and and the guys say, "Ringo, go up by the window," because there'd be people standing out there, and he'd go out there, and we just look, and they'd be go, "Wow!" They'd be screaming, "Okay, Paul, it's your turn. Come on." They scream, "Come on, you, Chris." And so I go out there and they'd be screaming, like teasing the people, but it was fun, you know. It was a young experience. I mean, you know, I grew up on eating tortillas and beans and never had a car, and all of a sudden, boom, transition like this, and I just had fun with it. You know?
Now, from a musical point of view, you're seeing them before any of us here saw or heard them.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Did you have a sense that, boy, if the American people heard this, that it would go over, or did you not think that way?
I didn't think anything. I just thought they were good, wonderful. Did they ever make it, by the way? I never heard, anyway.
They were around in the
they were
60s,
just
but
around
then
in
they
the
broke
60s.
up.
I just know the band, you know.
They haven't played a show in over 50 years.
Yeah,
you know?
right. And it was, I just thought they were great, you know, and then hanging out with them and teasing girls and, you know, and hanging out with the girls besides, you know, and and doing a lot of TV and all that. And one day they disappeared, and I said, "Where were you guys?" You know, and we had 2 days off, and Paul and John says, "Oh, excuse me, we just got through finishing our album. You want to hear it?" So yeah, I went up with the guys in the room. We had a room there. So Paul puts this LP, you know, 33. Well, she was just 17. I said, "Wow, that's a great song, guys," you know, and they played me the whole album. And I had Paul play that song about 6 times, you know, because I liked it, you know. It was a great song. And I was very impressed with him, you know, and I learned a lot from them, you know, watching. They take me out in the streets and they tell me a little bit about their country, you know, cobblestones, I mean. And in the room that I stayed in, well, most of us at that time in England, you'd have to have shillings. You put 2 shillings in to get the heater
heat?
going. Yeah. You know, I'm saying, wow, what is this country sort of, you know, they're not too hip or sort of way back there, you know.
Let's just talk for a second about the 4 guys. Just give me off the top of your head an impression. We'll go the way the records went. John, Paul, George, Ringo. So John.
Well, John was rowdy. Well, he's crazy. I mean, so was I. But one time we were finishing this tour, doing this show at this private club, and well, no, it's a concert. But we went to someone's home, and they were having a party for us, and we're sitting. And I was, you know, I've been partying all the time. It gets old after a while, you know. I went going in the bus. The bus was parked in front of the house, and I was sleeping, and all of a sudden, I hear a lot of rackets, you know. I'm like this, and all of a sudden, someone pours beer on my head, and it was John Lennon. I said, "You son!" I got up, and we got into it. You know, they broke us up in the bus, and you know, and that was my experience with John Lennon.
Well, interestingly enough, you're not the only one who's going to sit here tonight who punched John. So.
Oh well, I know. I just it was just something happened, you know, and then
Paul.
And Paul, a very humble, beautiful person. He was, he's the one that broke us up, and then him and Tommy Rowan. And come on, guys. And we didn't talk to each other for a while, but Paul was always trying to make amends. I said, "Paul, I don't want to talk, man. You just leave me alone. You guys do your thing, you know." But he's a true, not only a true genius, but a true person, beautiful person.
They're great.
You know, and of course, you know, the other guys. I remember this experience where Paul and I were out there up here in Atlanta with the girls hanging out, and all of a sudden Ringo and Harrison come in, and I said, "Hey guys, where were you?" And we're coming down. We're at this hotel, right? And they said, "Oh, we were just doing something. We're coming out." I said, "Hey, there's some girls in there that don't want nothing to do with either of us. They want to see Ringo and George. Show us a place." And they said, "Just right up the stairs." And that's the last time I saw them, you know. But it's just, those kind of experiences make me laugh. You know? Only because thank the Lord that I'm here and I stand on Him, because that I had no idea I was going to have such a great experience in life, and we all have in our own way. And I was fortunate to not only hang out with the best or greatest rock group, that I was a headliner. That's even amazing to me, you know.
Now, in 1964, when they came to LA for the first time, you were one of the few people they actually knew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did you hang out with them?
Yeah, there was police all over the place. You had to show, and we drove up, and this song that I recorded behind Let's Dance was a song called "You're the One," and I used to sing this song to the girls on stage, you know, because I learned this from all the black acts that showed me how to be presentable on stage, and be cool to the ladies and all that. And so I used to sing this song, and I used to take my shirt off, and they were screaming. The girls would be screaming, you know.
Wow.
Just try. Sometimes, not all the time, but just trying to be hip, you know. And so when I went to the house in Bel Air, and I walk in, and all of a sudden Paul sees me, and he gets on his knees and says, "You're the one, you're the one." and I said, "Oh, come on, Paul." And he's singing this song to me, because he used to watch me sing this song to the girls all the time.
Did he take his shirt off when
No,
he did it?
No, he didn't.
Someone will correct me, but I don't know if there's anyone else who toured with Sam Cooke and the Beatles. That seems like a pretty exclusive club.
It was Smokey Robinson. Jerry Butler was on these shows.
Tell us one thing about Sam Cooke, because almost nobody here ever saw him perform. Was he?
He had the song "If You Ever Change Your Mind," and I used to love that song. And he come on, he sing, and he has such charisma, and he singing these girls, and these girls would be loving on him, you know, and touching him, and you know, he was a real cool person. And one time, it's funny that. On these different tours, and these tours, you know, I finished these shows, and at 2:00 in the morning, and we'd be driving on these buses, and then this is the kind of booths they had in the bus, this charred chair like this. I'd be sleeping, and they'd be partying, you know, with the whiskey and all this, the guys, and so one time they told me, "Oh, Sam Cooke wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to you. He's been looking for you." And I said, "Oh. I wonder what I did wrong, you know." So all of a sudden he comes with his entourage, a couple guys, and he says, "Hey, Brother Chris, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." He says, "I just want to tell you, thank you for everything, and if you need anything, let me know." Wow. And that was such an honor to hear that from Sam Cooke.
I would say so, and we're honored that you were here for us tonight. Please give it up, Chris Montez.